Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning in 2006. Summary for this film: before being sent to serve in Vietnam, two brothers and their girlfriends take one last road trip. But when they get into an accident, a terrifying experience will take them to a secluded house of horrors with a chainsaw-wielding killer. Directed by Jonathan Liebesman, who did Darkness Falls, and written by Sheldon Turner, who did The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler. And also has, I think, a lot of help from David Schow, who did Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Critters 3 and 4, The Crow, and The Hills Run Red. So he's got a lot of credentials there. Jason, do you have any info on this?
Tagline: Witness the Birth of Fear, distributed by New Line Cinema.
Yeah. So this one I never really gave a chance because the first time I put it on, I felt like I watched a man get killed with a sledgehammer for real. And I just turned it off. It was an immediate bummer. Like 10 minutes in, it happens or something like that. But yeah, I think this movie is at least as good as the original reboot. I might have enjoyed it a little bit more because they gave more dialogue to the sheriff. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of sheriff scenes and a lot of dialogue.
I'm the sheriff now, Mama.
Yeah. When I realized they have this biker guy that gets involved at one point, and when I realized that was the same guy from fucking Wayne's World, Terry. You remember that guy?
Yeah.
He's the biker that's looking for his girlfriend. I immediately gave this movie some bonus points because nobody fucking uses that guy. Nobody uses him.
He was in the show Oz.
Yeah.
He was also Chet in the Weird Science TV show.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Right. Yeah. I liked a lot of things about this. I liked how they showed Leatherface getting his first human mask. I like that. Mm-hmm. The sheriff gets his car in uniform, and it shows you how he gets his front teeth knocked out. I like how they show Uncle Monty losing his legs. I also learned that was that dude's name. The guy in the wheelchair from the original one. They also have a dinner scene, which didn't happen in the original reboot. So I liked this a lot. I gave this a 9. So yeah, I love how the bad guys win at the end of this one too. That gave a lot of points there. So Jason?
Yeah, so prequel to 2003 remake, and since they changed the characters, I like that we have the Hewitt family back, and I've grown to like them. I like the characters themselves now, so I guess that they knew what they were doing in 2003. I think it connects the two movies together well. However, it doesn't feel as old as the movie in 2003 did. Not saying that had a real old feel to it either, but this one felt almost like it could be nowadays.
I think it was the clothing, because
it's supposed to like the Vietnam era. Like it didn't feel like that to me.
No, not at all.
But this one's brutal. It's gory. I like leather again. Same dude, Andrew Bronarski. You mentioned the dinner scene. I think, yes, they brought that back. I think that is a staple. That's a signature to Texas Chainsaw to me. I think they all should have them.
Well, there's a recipe. There's a recipe to it.
It doesn't even have to be long. Just real quick.
Yeah. You just have to get the people. There has to be a gas station sequence or whatever. They have to probably hit something on the road. That's always a nice touch. Then you get a couple chases, mix them up with the family a little bit. Then dinner scene, wrap it up. Really.
But I like the origin story. The story was good. This is my second time with this, and it was better this time. I didn't enjoy it as much the first time I watched it. I think this is a solid Texas Chainsaw entry. I gave it a 7.
John Paul?
Okay, so
Lord, he's got shit all over.
I know he doesn't like this. I already know.
It's got to be worse than the original.
I will tell you this.
At least agree on that.
I will tell you this. When this movie was coming out, I used to read Fangoria like mad. And I remember reading an article saying that Platinum Dunes promised to right the wrongs they made from the reboot. And that's what this movie seems like. It was like, hey, we're sorry we made the reboot that people didn't like, so let's just write you a fluffy piece backstory on the characters. And I liked it a little better because obviously there was a lot of crowd-pleasing scenes. And like you said, the dinner scene was great. But it's still, there's just something about it. It just kept that little weird grittiness just to keep oil clan people. Like I said,
he's got a personal vendetta against Platinum Dudes. I don't know what it is, but that dude, he does not like.
They owe him money or something. Yeah.
Maybe, but
they didn't buy his screenplay.
Yeah,
I loved their Friday the 13th, which was essentially Friday the 13th part 1 through 3 into one movie.
Director.
Yeah,
you know,
well, not this one.
I love that they did that. That was great that they crammed those 3 movies in the beginning.
Exactly. I thought that reboot was a lot better. Freddy, I've rewatched it now. There are things I enjoy about it, but these Chainsaw Massacres, I don't know. I don't like what they did.
okay.
I mean, this one was a little better. I would give it maybe a point better. I don't know.
What's your point?
Oh, he liked this one better than the remake.
So would you give it like a 6? Then
I'd give it a 6. I'd give it a 6. Maybe maybe a 7. There are still parts that I'm like, come on, you're just gore porning just to throw more gore porn. I will tell you this:
there's nothing wrong with gore or porn.
When I saw this at the theater,
people use that as a negative, but what's the negative? Like, I'm watching a horror movie. Give me some gore. And
I understand gore. Trust me, I have no problem with gore. But it's just when it's just to the point where it's just like redundant. It's just like, come on, give me some more. But I'll tell you a funny story. When I saw this in the theater, I saw it in Georgesville, here in Ohio, near where Randy lives, and some guy brought his baby to this movie.
Perfect.
And I was
perfect.
like, what the fuck? And then,
well, you got to.
The baby is crying.
See that
like
as a baby, and nothing's ever going to scare you the rest of your life.
Like literally, Leatherface is chopping up people, and this baby's crying in the middle of it. And I remember somebody yelling at the guy going, hey, get your fucking kid out of here. We want to see Leatherface cut some people. Maybe he'll cut your baby. And
I think that should be a requirement, actually. Yeah. Screaming baby in the middle of this would have been amazing.
Shouldn't the theater just stop somebody at that point and be
like, I'm with you. This was it was a 10 o'clock show. They should have stopped it.
No, that's just a bad choice. You can't go in there. Sorry. Why don't you go to a child's film like we have? But anyways, Jake, what did you say about this movie?
It's one of those it's okay. I just felt like it was a lot like kind of what he said. Kind of one of those that were just filling in the holes that I feel like they needed to. And then plus I have the issue of I hate Jordana Brewster. I absolutely hate her acting. So I can't get over it. I'm sorry. I absolutely hate her as an actress. So it makes it so hard for me to watch this because all I sit there and do is I just look at her and be like, oh my God, you're such an awful actress. Sorry, I just can't.
Yeah, it must be like Sandra Bullock for me.
Yeah.
So what would you rate this out of 10?
Honestly, I'd probably give it like a 5 or a 6.
Right on. Well, we're going to take a little break here, and we'll come back and we'll hit the other 2 movies. Why don't we check out?
Would you like my rating?
Oh shit, Ray!
Oh,
there's too many people. Look, he's seriously offended.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. There's too many people. Yeah, do it.
Fine.
Do it
6 out of 10.
What's your thoughts? We have 7
Oh,
minutes.
come on.
Okay. Yeah. So I gave it a 6 out of 10, Jason, but only because I liked it. But I'm with the other guys on the fact that I thought they tried to connect too much to the original. It was like the George Lucas prequel to me. It was like, hey, do you want to know how this guy lost his legs? Watch this. This is how
Frank likes that.
Yeah.
Frank mentioned that.
So,
I liked it. It was fun.
but I enjoyed it. Arlie Ermey was fantastic. I'm glad they brought the dinner scene back. I'm glad you guys brought that up because I think that every one of these needs it. But my other problem is, hey, we're going to start eating people now because we all lost our jobs, right? There's cattle so prevalent in this area that people are running into them on the fucking road.
Yeah, they got a lot of livestock overall.
So,
they got swine.
You're not starving. You're just
it
insane
seems
now.
like they ought to give it a few years first.
Yeah.
The goddamn
that's
armadillo.
But I enjoyed it enough to give it a 6 out of 10. So.
Yeah. Which, by the way, you can't eat an armadillo. Did you guys know that? You cannot eat
No.
one. They will give you, what is it, leprosy. So,
Wow.
little tip for life.